throwing here on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. He's got a man complete. A gain of 39 that time.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that. And
forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
It's caught by Quincy Enunwa. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 at a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. On second down, here's Miller. He's able to get 6. A nice pickup down to the 21.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. They're going to look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Janoris Jenkins. The 40. He's at the 30. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They go play action here on first down. They'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack.
We talked about prior to the game, and it played out right there on the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have his hands full all night long.
Well, you often speak of scripts to start a game. Does this mean that play number 2, they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people, when they script now, they actually script those contingencies in, okay, in case they can't run the play they want to. How it's long distance now? Let's go to that play.
And the pressure gets to him again. Leonard Williams in there to get him. And this pass rush strong now. That sacks on back-to-back plays. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. And the pitch goes to Miller. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. The tackle by Janoris Jenkins.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Got his man, Robbie Anderson. A good pickup there at 22.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
This quarterback now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble. Looking for his receiver, sharp, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tremaine Johnson. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right, it felt like...
And now off to the races, down the right side, and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Robbie Anderson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jets have taken a first-quarter lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick, and they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week. Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Dancing to his left. Shreds the tackle, and he'll get up to the 43-yard line. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
While you admire anyone trying to pick up an additional couple of yards, they're just not worth it when you take shots like that. Quarterbacks have to stay in the game and stay on the field.
Back to throw here. Oh, he's able to out-muscle him here as he pulls it in. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here on first down. It's caught on the left side by Curse. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 10 more there and another first down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4 and it'll bring up second down. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing it all.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Mario Edwards. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. On play action, they'll throw. Just keeping the play alive. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. And Suckup will put this one right through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
They'll start out on the ground at Saquon Barkley. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. A first down carry for Barkley, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Avery Williamson there to make the stop.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. They give him a gain of 38. First down now, but that clock rolling. They'll look to throw now on first down. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Morris Claiborne. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Flushed out right. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Quincy Enunwa, his second touchdown on the season. And the Jets find a way to stretch their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point put through by Succop, and that makes our score 17-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Jordan Jenkins in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. They'll look to throw here. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. We have hit halftime. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now out come the Giants. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are
nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Jets have recovered. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a 2-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. 2-hand. Oh, I get it. 2-hand monster. Both hands on the football, taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
Nice gain of 8 that time, but it's 2nd and goal.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down.
And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. As his guys are in for 6. And the Jets capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. And he's able to put it through.